Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for watching today. Thank you. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, my name is Milton Funko, and for those who are new, please do not go without subscribing. Thank you so much for your love and support. And today I want to talk about everything you need to know in order to study in Hungary. Yes, I'll be talking about studying in Hungary, the application process and everything you need to know. And again, you need to know that Hungary is a country in Europe and has a lot of universities like the University of Bex and so many other institutions that teach in English language, or let me say have programs taught in English language, especially from architecture, computer science, nursing, dentistry, pharmacies, and all the rest. All right. So, if you must study in a university in Hungary, like the University of Pécs, there are certain things you need to do first of all right, before you can apply. Now, I will be talking about the application process. The application process is going to run as follows. First of all, you choose a program, you prepare the paperwork, you choose, you check, let me say, check specific admissions requirements, you submit your application, you wait for the decision, all right, then you apply for the visa. Remember, you are going to apply for a visa, especially if you are an international student from Africa. Then when you arrive in Hungary, you register in school and start studies. So, like I said, you are going to start with choosing a program. Most schools in Hungary, anyways, let me say, most universities in Hungary have English taught programs, especially for those who are coming from English speaking countries or those who intend to study programs in English language. All right. So if you choose a degree program in Hungary, you are the one to decide which level you are looking for, maybe the bachelor's, the master's, or the PhD. All right. And your field of studies, you have to choose a university, then check your field of studies, and you also need to keep in mind the requirements to take a proficiency test, or if you are required to submit an English language test. Okay, you need to consider that. Then also, when you have chosen the degree program right away, being it the undergraduate or the graduate, you after checking the requirements, you can now prepare for the paperwork. All right. Remember, paperwork is a very common requirement and varies from university to university. What do I mean by paperwork? When you are applying for a school, especially in Hungary, you need to check to see if there is let me say they require a motivation letter, or they require recommendation letters, or a portfolio or previous work experience. All right, so things like that, that is the paperwork I mean. And most universities will always ask for previous studies. All right, know that. Then again, you need to check if you sacrifice let me say if you satisfy the requirements to apply. Okay, then you also need to check if your university is going to send your official transcript, or you are the one to send the new university you are applying for your transcript. Okay, so that is how you need to know. Again, check if the proficiency test needs to be an internationally recognized test like the TOEFL exam, which is the test of English as a foreign language, or the IELTS, which is International English Language Testing System. So those are some of the things you need to check for the paperwork. Then when you finish with the paperwork, you need to check specific admissions requirements. Okay, specific admissions requirements. What I mean here, depending on the university and also specific documentation that is required. You will also need to check the university website to know. If you find something which you don't understand, send them an email. Okay, then when you have checked the requirements and prepare your paperwork, you can now submit your application. But remember, before you submit the application, you need to understand that most applications to universities in Hungary are done through an online application system. Alright, that is, the application forms are available only through specific university websites, and often Hungarian universities will require you to pay let me say to pay an application fee, probably between 80 euros to 150 euros, all right. And after you have completed the application form, you have to attach necessary documents. Let me say the documents you use, maybe your IELTS score, your past educational certificate, your transcript, your motivation letter, your recommendation letters, or you prepare to mail them to the universities. It all depends on if the university says upload the documents, you upload, or if the university says mail the hard copies to us, you mail to us. But also bear in mind that at some point before you even mail the documents, you are not mailing the original documents to the university, okay? You have to mail legalized copies. I hope you understand what I mean by legalized copies. You have to take your original certificates and legalize them, then legalize them at the police, or maybe probably at the any Hungarian institution in your home country before you send to the institution you are applying for. All right. After that is done, and if there is any other missing document, the university may tell you that you haven't put anything, but you also need to pay attention to the application fee payment. All right. After that is done, you have to wait for the admissions letter or wait to be admitted. But you also need to know that admission results are often notified by email or post. All right. They may sometimes the post notification is often not common. The school, or let me say the officials in charge of your admissions, will only inform you via the email you use. All right, because remember, for you to fill the online form you need a particular email or an email address to use. Now if you are a fee paying student, meaning that you are not a European Union student or a student from the European Union, you would usually be asked to pay the tuition fee for the first semester after you have been admitted. This information now goes to most Africans or most Asian students, all right, or students coming from other countries. But if you come from Hungary or other countries, you may not pay a tuition fee, or you may not be asked to pay. Otherwise, the university where you would pursue your studies will send you an official letter of admissions and the admissions confirmation for visa purposes. Remember, when the letter they will send to you shows that you will have to pay a tuition deposit if you are an international student, especially from Africa or Asia. Then when you do the payment, you scan the receipt, forward to the school, then the school is going to send you an admission confirmation for visa processing. All right, that is how it works. Then maybe they will also send you other practical information about studying abroad in Hungary or in this particular university in Hungary. So always pay attention to all of these things. Now when you have been admitted or you have the admissions letter with you, the next thing you now need is to apply for the visa. Remember, before you already had the admissions and you paid the tuition fee. If you are not from EU country, once you have been admitted into any Hungarian university, you have to start the visa processing as soon as possible, because sometimes time may not be on your side. I hope you understand me. Time may not be on your side. So because the process can take again up to maybe 1 to 3 months, all right. When you are applying for the visa, you have to book an appointment, go to the embassy for interview and things like that. And sometimes the visa application requires several important documents that you must present. All right, you must apply for a student visa at the Hungarian consulate or embassy before leaving your country. That is where you have to go. And documents required for the Hungarian student visas include the one, pay attention to this, the admission letter from the accepted university or the university in Hungary that admitted you. All right, you have to show the acceptance letter from the university. The second document is your passport. All right, your passport should be valid at least 6 months after the entry date. Sometimes I usually tell international students it's not even good to use a passport that is valid, or let me say a passport that is left 6 months to expiring date. It's good you, if your program is 1 year, you use a passport that still has at least 1 year 1 month. If your program is 2 years, you should make sure your passport is at least 2 years before expiring date, because it's very important. You also need proof of accommodation in Hungary. Proof of accommodation is very important because you have to show the embassy that you have accommodation. When you move to Hungary, you will be living inside. Alright, so it's very important. You will show to the embassy. These are the documents you will be showing to the embassy. Again, to show to the embassy is your health insurance, proof of health insurance. For those in Cameroon and Nigeria, it is very easy to get health insurance. Alright, go to any renowned health insurance like AXA, Sanu, and all these insurance companies pay for at least 1 year insurance. Health insurance is also a travel insurance. Someone asked me if health insurance, what is it? It's also called a travel insurance. Alright, so when you get it, you also have to show proof of funds, alright, covering your entire living expenses during your studies. So that is something you can prove, showing your bank statement or showing documents from your sponsor, alright. So that is what you need to know in order for you to apply for the visa in Hungary. And again, you also need the visa application form. Sometimes if you will get this visa application form from the let me say the website of the Hungarian embassy in your home country or the country where you are applying for. And at least do not forget that you have to pay a visa fee, alright, at the embassy before you apply. And this visa fee depends on where you are applying and the country in which you are applying from, alright. So that is what you need to know. And when you get to Hungary, after you have been given the visa, you will need to apply for your residence permit within 15 days, alright? It's 15 days. Remember, the document that was given to you was a student visa to Hungary. Now, the document that will permit you to live in Hungary for long, let me say for 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years of your studies, you will need is called a residence permit, alright? And this is necessary if this is not necessary if you are a European Union student, or no, it is even necessary, because sometimes some people would think that because students are coming from Europe, they don't need. No, everybody needs a residence permit except Hungarian citizens, alright, or citizens from Hungary. So that is what you need to know. Now you have to prepare after your visa has been given to you. You need to prepare to arrive in Hungary. After you have been admitted to a university, you have received the necessary visa, right? It depends on whichsoever visa is given to you. Now you will have to make adventures to Hungary and think about the cost of living in Hungary and your budget before you make a move, alright? And once you have that, you can now start looking for other things. Remember, you had accommodation before you apply for the visa, so it's time now to buy a flying ticket and arrive in your new home city. That is how the process of studying in Hungary is, and these are some of the things you need to know, alright. And for just as a remember that Hungary has over 33,000 international students, alright, that are studying there in all the cities. And the education system in Hungary is not that difficult. Hungary is also a popular destination for students, given its variety of programs, diverse programs, free education, and culture. What do I mean here by free education? Because some people will still not understand, but let me break it down. Free education means that you apply for a program, then you apply again for a scholarship, alright. And Hungary has a lot of scholarships, a lot of scholarships in Hungary. Remember that you also need, like I said, you need a visa, and when you get the visa, you will now move to Hungary. Now the housing, or let me say the living expenditure, will be calculated by you before you even apply for the visa, alright. And make sure, as an international student, the type of accommodation you get should be a very cheap one, alright. It's a very cheap one. And Hungary has a lot of culture, alright, more rich culture. And many countries, they speak Hungarian and they speak Swedish as well. And again, don't forget that when you are in Hungary, or let me say any other country like Turkey, Norway, Finland, Sweden, when their first language, or when majority of the people don't speak English, those in some of these countries, a majority of the people speak English. Try as much as possible to learn the language. If you go to Hungary, try to learn the Hungarian. So that is the information I have for you guys. Please do not go without subscribing to this channel, and thank you so much for watching, and see you in other episodes. I will be bringing a lot of videos about studies abroad opportunities, and stay tuned.